This we need to compare to whatever is in the actual widget that we're trying to add it to. So we need to get the item info in the widget and get its information as well. And then move it away, and we need to find this class, and we need to compare it like so. Then we can hide these like so. So this is among the first things that we need to do. Let's give us some more space. We're going to be needing a bit of code here to do this, because this is a bulk of a bunch of logic. But generally this is what we will be doing, like so. In addition to that, we are also going to, if we determine that they are the same, then we need to okay, let's see if we can make sense of this. We need to have our widgets to add to. When you have import parameters like this, you can always get them like by typing them in like they're sort of local variables like this. We need to get the item info from this. And we need to break this. Because what we need to do is we need to find what the max amount is for a stack, subtract it with the current amount in this slot. So that's the, if we had 99 here for example, and we had 9 already, then 90 is actually the maximum amount that we're allowed to add to this slot, right? So we're going to be clamping, and this is not the value we're clamping, but this will be the max that we're going to be clamping. And the minimum value will be 0, and the other value will be the item to actually add this item info. If we break this one, what we're allowed to add here is going to be the amount that we have here. So the amount, if we say that this is a value that is 95 and we were allowed to add 90, then we're going to clamp between 0 and 90, which means that this 95 value becomes 90 instead. And this value that we're getting here, so if we subtract the value that we tried to add, which was 95, by the actual clamped value, 90, it means we'll be getting 5 left. And these 5 left is what we're going to be having as our remaining quantity. We can promote this to a variable. We can call it local remaining amount, like so. In addition to that, what we want to do is we want to add the value, that the current amount we have in the widget, with the value that we ended up clamping here. So if it was 90, because then it means that we have 9 plus 90 and we end up with 99 here, and this is going to be our new value that we're going to be adding. So we can promote this value as well, just so we have it available. And we'll call this one local new value to add. And we can connect these up here, I think. So, and we'll give ourselves some more space. And then we need to actually take our we need to be let's promote this to local variable. So the item that we're trying to add, we will be making a local constant for. We'll call this the local remaining item. And if we go back here, then we can actually set this over here. So we want to get a reference to it and set members. That's how you update the structures. And what we want to be setting here is going to be the amount. So this is what will be remaining. So this should be the remaining amount that we calculated here. So if we had the example of we having 95 clamped to 90, it means that we have 5 left. 5 left is the amount that we're putting as our value here. However, we also need to update the widget with its new information. So let's make a copy of this. Can do it from here, I guess. We'll call this the local item to add. So this one will be holding the information that we calculate. Is going to be the new widget information, basically. So we can do the same thing here. We can do that. We can set members. Like so. And we'll add an amount pin. And for the amount over here, we're going to be having the local new value to add. So that value that we determined that that's the widget should be having after our calculation and our additions. And after that, we need to actually update the widget with that information. So we'll get a reference over here. And we'll just set this. Set item info. So. And the new item info we're going to be setting is the one that we've calculated here, so the local item to add. And then we're going to be needing some code to actually make sure that the widget knows that this has been updated. So let's compile and save this and go to our widget slots. Where do we have it? Inventory slots, graph. Oh, we already made that one. That's good. So update widget. We send in their information. It's going to be updating everything. Excellent. So we'll go back to our there, and we'll just say for this specific widget we want to update it. So we'll say update widget. After we have done this, we need to again make sure that we have the correct stats going out here. So we'll get the local remaining item, and we'll be getting the function for checking if the remaining items is greater than 0 that we made earlier, because we're doing the same check again, and we're connecting them like so. Okay, now this handles the situation of when, we can actually connect this I think as well, when the class is the same. So basically when it's adding to an existing item, which doesn't happen that often. It should only happen every now and then, because we start off trying to add it to existing items before. But there is one fringe case where we have this being done from a different place, so it could theoretically add it to the same one. But now we have the situation of where it's trying to add to a different slot, an actual empty slot. So what we need to do is we need to first have our item to add, the item information we're being sent in here. And we need to break this. Now the amount that we have here, we want to clamp between, because this could theoretically be, if you make something weird, that you're trying to add 100 potions even though a stack is maximum 99. So we want to clamp this value to make sure that we don't actually get any situations where we end up with some weird values. So our clamp will be minimum 0 and maximum the max amount stack. And the result of this is the actual value that we will be using. Right, so if this one is 90, we end up saying that it should be clamped between 0 and 99, that's 90, so 90 minus 90 means that this is the value that we have remaining. So since we have a variable already made for this, we can do it like so, so that's going to be our remaining amount, like so. But our amount to add, the local amount to add, this one is going to be whatever we calculated it to be over here. So now we just need to connect these, so we make sure that we calculate these, like so. We can hide these pins. And after that we are basically done here, and what we need to do is basically the same part that we did here before. We need to check for the remaining amount being greater than, so we can hook it up like so. Because this piece of code is going to be the same for both of them. And that should be it. Let's try this out and see if that works better. So we'll just try first by going through and see if everything goes okay. And now it said it was dropped, so that's bad. We can also see that it didn't add it. So let's try that again. So we're running up there, we're zooming, and now we're at adding the inventory. We go in here, try to add to existing, that doesn't work. We're trying to add it to empty slot. Let's go in here. We're going through here. We're going to add item to slot. Yeah, let's go in here. So let's see what we made wrong here. We're setting these values. So we have a health potion, and we also have a blank widget here, which doesn't hold any information currently. Which means that we should be going to our false over here, which means that we're setting our local value over here to be 1. So the value to add is 1 because the potion was only one of. And we're setting our local remaining amount to be 0, so no remaining amounts, which seems fair. And our local remaining item is this. And this one has the amount. Where is the amount? Amount is 1 here, so that's incorrect. And the reason for that is because we need to actually update this actually with all of this information. We need to... This is where we need to hook up. Can remove this. Can remove that. And reconnect this again. Because we need to do the setting of the local items, setting of the item to add. We need to actually set the widget to have the information. We need to update the widget, and then we need to compare towards the new remaining item over here, which I was not doing because I skipped a bunch of steps here. So let's try this again. Let's skip through and see if we get a better result. It says that it added this time. Let's check our inventory, and now you can see we actually have an item in our inventory that says health potion, and it says that we have 1 of it, so that's good. Let's just do a quick little cleaning thing. We'll go to our inventory slot, and since this white isn't really looking that nice, what we can do is we can change the color and opacity to be something darker, like black maybe. Maybe a slight opacity, so maybe 0.5. And in addition to that, maybe we can do so that we have, let's see what it's called. It's called the item amount. Doesn't seem like it would have much purpose to be shown if it has an amount that is 0, right? So if, let's see here, the item amount uses this value. So if this value is less than, let's say 1, we'll make a branch, and if we end up in a situation where it is less than 1, meaning basically 0, but it could theoretically be negative values even though it shouldn't be, then we might as well set this to visibility hidden, so we don't have to see the 0. And also, when we actually do have a value that's greater than 1, then we actually want to see it. Let's see if that looks any better. So now we have a black. Okay, it doesn't work at all with zeros. Probably because it doesn't update. It should. Amount. Huh, let's check this. So you're getting to follow along on a lot of debugging. That's nice, right? So this amount is, it doesn't say. It says true. That one says 0. It's going into true. I find that slightly peculiar. Am I being dumb? If this value is... Okay, so we're coming in with 0 and asking if 0 is less than 1, and of course it is less than 1. Okay, math. If the amount is greater than 0, let's try it this way. Less negations. Maybe this will make more sense then. So if the value that we have in amount is greater than 0, yes, then we want to show it. Otherwise, no, it's hidden. Let's remove this one. And resume. And show our inventory. Okay, so now we see we don't have the zeros. We still have these characters up here for the health, but that's just for our debugging. That's to be removed later, just like this HUD is to be removed. So let's remove the HUD element right now. So we have that one gone, like so. And yeah, let's move to the next part. So let us try by picking up both items, see how that looks. So now both of them have been added according to the print screen, and we can see that we have a health potion and a mana potion. The problem now is that we're having all the icons black here, so we have obviously done a bad job of the... let's see, where's the slot? Inventory slot over here. I changed the... What did I change the color of? The overlay? The image icon, that should be... Okay. Yeah, we probably want to do this a bit different. Because this will affect the actual image itself, so this one we actually want to have white, and we want to have alpha 1, I think. However, we might want to have a border or something like that, perhaps. And we'll just add these to overlay again so we get them in the same order. I'm sure there's a different way, I just didn't think about it right now. And then we'll make sure to have this one have a black background. So I need to think a bit here. Actually, I think we want to remove the border. What we want to do is probably just change our default values, I'm thinking. If we go to our, let's see here, our item pickup and our item info. We have none as an icon. If we pick something that is supposed to be... Now I don't have a background that works as sort of like a good empty background by default, so we'll just pick something here that could look like it would be. Something like that, I guess. Which means that if we played now... Oh, that's not working. Let's see here. Probably our item info on our slot doesn't get the icon. Okay. That's a bit unfortunate, but it makes sense. We have made a default, but this one was created after we changed the default. So let's get the, what's it called, walnut? Not entirely sure that's what I picked. Where's the item pickup? Wood walnut diffuse. Wood floor walnut. That one. Okay, let's check that out and see how that looks. That doesn't work either. Okay, I'm obviously missing something here. The last place it could likely be is when we have our inventory, we have it here, so we create it directly when this is spawned, which means that it's using its when it's creating widgets, it's using its item info here. That one is set to wood. No, I'm in the wrong place. I'm in the inventory container over here. This one, when it creates the widgets for the slots, it's sending in the item info, and this one also has. We could possibly make something like a data table entry for what an empty slot is supposed to look like also, so I don't have to do this, but this was just an oversight on my behalf. I think this should be the one that is actually affecting what it looks like now. It is not still. Let's see here. Wood, walnut. Okay. Let's just do a debug on this and see what it looks like then. So we get here and we say create a widget with item info, and item info has as icon none. Alright, so if it is not able to get it here, it should get the standard version. If the standard version, so that means it's getting it from the actual structure itself. So we go to the structure. No, not this one. Actually, this one, yes. So this is the default values of the structure. So if we were to put walnut in here, this might have actually changed it for all other places as well. Like so. Now we should finally have our walnut. Let's remove this one. We just hope that it's going to work now. So now we have our walnut background, so that looks better at least. We do have a little bit of a controlling issue when it comes to having the inventory and the game up at the same time currently. Let's see if we change this to... let's see here, we have in third person, there we go, and we do a show inventory. I'm thinking it might be an issue that's caused by I'm wondering if this is the issue. Maybe we should just try a input mode UI only. Like so, and the player controller is this one. So now we're using this node instead. Let's see if that feels better, because now it's feeling a little bit wonky. Okay, so now I can click around, nothing really happens here. But now it doesn't allow my input to show my inventory again, or hide my inventory again, so that won't work. Having a bit of an issue when getting this to look nice and feel nice. We will just leave that issue for now and get back to it later, I suppose. I will try this code on a different computer as well, to just see if it's a issue with the computer or not. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, that doesn't feel great, so we'll see what we can do about it. But anyway, back to actually doing some more testing here. So let's add a new health potion in here. And this health potion, let's do something weird with it. Let's put its amount to 500. And this means that we should hopefully be adding multiple stacks. Yes. So we're getting multiple stacks. However, it seems like we're now hiding our quantity, despite despite we shouldn't be doing that. Let's see here, inventory slot. So we are. That's the inventory. This is the inventory. This is the inventory slot. So here we should be updating the widget with the quantity. Like so. Let's put a breakpoint here. And let's see what happens. So in the beginning we just hide it because we don't have anything. However, oh, okay, that was a bad idea. I shouldn't be moving while I'm. Let's resume. Shouldn't be moving while I'm having the inventory up. It doesn't work that well since the issue we talked about. So we have the inventory here. We press E. So we get the quantity over here that it's supposed to be 99. Okay, well that doesn't help a lot. We have, or I haven't put the item amount reference in here to show that it's visible. So obviously it's not going to be visible. We remove the breakpoint and we try again. So we pick this up here. We see that we get 99, 99, 99, and that's good. That works as far as it goes with. It's dividing them into stacks and trying to find empty slots for them. So that's good. Ideally, let's try what happens if we are not able to add it to our inventory as well. So we have 12 slots and we're able to hold 99 in each of them. So that's 1200 minus 12. So if we were to set 1200, then we should be getting 12 in excess. Let's see if we actually get a... No, that's not what I wanted to do. So let's put a amount of 1200 here. And let's see if that tells it to drop it. It does drop it, but nothing was spawned on the floor. We see that our inventory is full anyway. So let's examine what is going wrong with our dropping then. Let's see, we go to our code here, we have our drop item, we add a breakpoint. We do the same thing again. Try to pick it up. We have established that we're supposed to drop something, and it's supposed to be an amount of 0, it looks like. That doesn't look that good. So let's find where we're using the drop item. We want to find it in all blueprints. Okay, it's only these two. So we have the definition over here, and we have attempting to and here is where we're dropping. So let's put a breakpoint over here, and let's see what is going wrong. So we're going here, and we come to this place, and we say that our amount is with their amount is 0. No max, yeah, 0. So we have established that we have a value greater than 0 here, but this one is saying that it is 0. So we have some kind of bug over here right now. Let's remove this breakpoint. Let's put it over here. And let's just stop and play again. So let's see what happens in here then. So we go through this process of trying to add item to slots, and we set the item values, we set greater than, and if it's false we break off. So we are able to get through the whole. Let's put a breakpoint over here. So we come to this point at which we say the amount over here is 12 and max stack is 19. So that's good. Okay, here's another problem. We haven't, or I at least didn't connect it over here to the return. So we need to make sure that we do that as well. Like so. I hope that following along with this debugging is useful for you in case you're not that used to doing it. Hopefully it will allow you to see what kind of a process is involved in trying to figure out when something's wrong, right? So we try to pick this up again, and we resume, and we come here, and it says now that we have an amount of 0 again, but that might just be because we haven't stepped out here. Amount, health potion over there, amount is there, 12. It's a little bit difficult to see, but it's 12. So we say we want to spawn an actor with this information, resume, and we spawned the actor next to us here. So this would be a potion that now has 12 in it that we're able to pick up. So the adding to the inventory seems to work okay. Adding different items seems to work okay. Having overflows, it adds into several different stacks in the inventory, seems to work okay. Having too much picked up so it actually drops it back on the floor again seems to work okay. Now, what would be nice is if we had some kind of ability to actually interact with these icons now and drag them around in the inventory and also drop them on the floor. So let's look at adding some drag and drop functionality, as it's called. That is all for this episode. Hope to see you in the next one. Keep on learning. Take care.